If you have ever watched a horse sleep, you already know something most people never think to question. They do not go down. They stay up. Eyes half closed, lower lip loose, one hind leg cocked, breathing slow, standing. And for most people who see it, it registers as a quirk, something vaguely interesting about horses. But there is a reason buried inside that behavior that goes far deeper than anatomy. And there is a moment, a specific moment, that some horse owners get to witness, and most never do, that is one of the most profound things an animal can offer a human being. We are going to get to that moment, but to understand what it means, you need to understand what it costs. Stay with me through all of this, because point 3 is the piece that most horse people have never been told. And the final point is the one that will change the way you stand in that pasture for the rest of your life. 1. Standing sleep is not rest. It is survival mode with the lights dimmed. Here is the part most people do not know. When a horse sleeps standing up, they are not fully asleep, not in the way you are when you go under at night. They are in a state of light sleep only, drowsy, resting their muscles, letting their mind go quiet at the edges, but not reaching the deep restorative sleep that every mammal, including your horse, actually needs to function. The mechanism that allows them to stay upright is called the stay apparatus, a system of tendons and ligaments in the legs that locks into place and holds the horse's weight without muscular effort. It is elegant engineering. It means a horse can rest their body without going down, without becoming, even for a moment, the thing a prey animal can never afford to be, vulnerable. Because that is what this is really about, not anatomy, survival. A horse on the ground cannot get up fast. A horse on the ground, in the wild, in the open, is a horse that could die before it reached its feet. That knowledge is not something horses learned from experience. It is something 55 million years of evolution pressed into every cell of their nervous system. The instinct to stay up is not a preference, it is a pulse. It runs as deep as breathing. So when your horse stands in the corner of the paddock with their eyes half closed and their weight shifted to 3 legs, understand what you are actually seeing. You're seeing an animal that needs rest badly enough to take what little is available to them, but cannot allow themselves to take more. Not yet. Not here. Not unless something changes. 2. To get real sleep, a horse needs something most people never think to give them. Here is what changes. Here is what has to be in place before a horse can go all the way down and stay down long enough to reach the deep sleep their brain requires. They need to feel safe. Not just physically safe in the sense of no visible predators, safe in the nervous system sense, safe in the way that a prey animal's body has to be convinced on a biological level that this is the moment it can afford to let go. In the wild, that safety comes from the herd. Horses sleep in rotation. While some rest deeply on the ground, others stay standing and alert, watching the perimeter. The herd is the safety net. Each horse can surrender into deep sleep because the herd holds the watch. But domestic horses, horses in individual stalls, horses in small paddocks with no herd structure, often go without adequate deep sleep for extended periods. Research from the Netherlands documented a condition in horses called recumbent sleep deprivation, where horses that do not feel safe enough to lie down fully develop signs remarkably similar to human sleep deprivation. Loss of focus, erratic behavior, sudden collapse into microsleep while standing, sometimes mid-movement. Horses that their owners described as unpredictable, difficult, or checked out, who were actually just exhausted in a way nobody recognized because they were still on their feet. The implications of this are serious and practical. If your horse is in an environment, physical or social, that keeps their nervous system on low-level alert around the clock, they are not getting what they need. And the effects of that will show up somewhere, in their behavior, in their training, in the quality of their attention when you ask for it. Real rest requires real safety, and real safety for a horse is not a given. It has to be built. 3. Your horse has a sleep hierarchy, and where you fall in it tells you everything. This is the part most horse people have never heard, and it matters more than almost anything else I am going to tell you today. Horses do not simply lie down when they are tired enough. They lie down when they trust enough. And that trust is not general, it is specific. In a herd, horses have what researchers call a sentinel relationship. The horse who stands watch while others sleep is not randomly selected. It is a role that emerges from the social structure of the herd. Dominant horses, horses who have earned the trust of the group, are often the ones afforded the deepest rest, because the others around them have decided this animal's judgment can be relied upon. When researchers at the University of Bristol observed herd sleep patterns over extended periods, they found that horses consistently chose to lie down in proximity to specific individuals, both equine and human, and avoided lying down near others entirely, regardless of how tired they appeared to be. The variable was not exhaustion, it was relationship. Dr. Gemma Pearson, an equine veterinary researcher at the Royal Dick School of Veterinary Studies, has documented cases where horses in multi-horse environments would walk past closer, more sheltered spots to lie down near a specific companion, bypassing comfort for connection. Because the nervous system math is simple. I can only truly rest next to the one whose presence tells my body that nothing bad will happen while I am down. Now extend that to you. If your horse lies down when you are nearby, if they go all the way down, roll flat onto their side, and stay there while you are present, you are not just witnessing them sleep. You have been placed inside their safety calculation. They did not do that by accident. They did not do it because you were convenient. They did it because something in your presence told their nervous system something it believed. 4. The moment they go flat is the moment that costs them the most. There is a difference between a horse lying down on their sternum, legs tucked, head up, and a horse that goes all the way lateral, fully on their side, head down, legs out, eyes closed. That second position is called lateral recumbency, and it is the only position in which a horse can reach REM sleep, the deepest, most neurologically necessary stage of sleep, the stage where the brain consolidates memory, regulates emotion, restores itself. In lateral recumbency, a horse is completely committed. They cannot get up quickly from that position. They have surrendered every physical advantage their prey animal body normally maintains. It takes several seconds, sometimes longer, to regain their feet from a full lateral position. In the wild, those seconds could be everything. So when a horse goes lateral, they are not just resting. They are making a calculated biological gamble. They are saying, in the only way their body knows how to say it, that right now, in this place, with whatever is around them, the odds are good enough. The fear is quiet enough. The trust is strong enough. That they can afford to be, for just a little while, completely undefended. If you have ever sat quietly in a paddock or a stall and watched your horse slowly lower themselves all the way down, watched their head drop to the ground, watched their breathing deepen and slow, watched their legs twitch softly as the dream state takes them, you have been given something. You were the variable that made that possible. Your stillness, your consistency. Every patient moment, every time you did not push too hard or move too fast, every time you let them come to you instead of reaching. All of it accumulated into a feeling their nervous system recognized. And that feeling has a name. It is safety. And they chose to spend it lying down next to you. 5. What your horse dreams about is closer to you than you might think. Horses dream. That is not sentiment. That is documented neuroscience. During REM sleep, which again only happens in lateral recumbency, horses show the same markers of active dreaming that mammals across species display. Rapid eye movement beneath closed lids, muscle twitches in the legs as though running, subtle movements in the lips and ears, soft sounds sometimes that have no waking equivalent. What they dream about, no one can say with certainty. But what we do know from equine cognition research is what occupies a horse's waking emotional life. Relationship, safety, the emotional landscape of the herd around them, the specific humans who are part of their daily world. Research from the Equine Research Foundation found that horses retain detailed emotional memories of interactions with specific people for years. They remember who frightened them. They remember who was patient. They remember the quality of the relationship they were in, not just the mechanics of it. So when your horse lies beside you in full lateral sleep, legs twitching, dreaming in whatever language horses dream, it is not unreasonable to wonder whether some fragment of that dream contains something familiar, a rhythm they recognize, a presence that means something to them. You will never know for certain, but you were there when they went under, and that is not nothing. 6. The horse that finally lies down near you has been deciding for longer than you know. Here is where everything lands. That moment when your horse lowers themselves to the ground in your presence did not happen because of that day. It happened because of every day before it. Horses are not impulsive with their trust. They do not extend it quickly or casually. They extend it the way a slow-moving river eventually carves a canyon, through repetition, through consistency, through the accumulation of 1,000 small moments that never betrayed them. Every time you showed up without agenda, every time you stood quietly and let them breathe, every time you noticed they were worried and slowed down instead of pushing through, every time you left the session early because they gave you something real and you honored it. All of that was being recorded, not in a notebook, in a nervous system that never forgets how it felt to be around you. Dr. Cathala Visser, who has studied equine personality and human-horse relationships extensively, found that horses form what she calls stable relationship templates with individual humans, essentially a felt sense of who that person is and what their presence means. That template is built slowly. It updates constantly. And it is the template, not the moment, that determines whether a horse will let itself go all the way down. When your horse lies flat in your presence, they are not making a decision in that second. They are expressing a decision that took months, maybe years, to reach. The math finally cleared. The evidence finally accumulated. The nervous system finally said yes. So if you have been waiting for a sign that what you are building with your horse is real, there it is. Not in a competition result, not in a perfect training session, in the sound of a 1,000-pound animal breathing slowly into the ground beside you, completely unguarded, completely present, completely trusting that you will still be there when they wake up. That is not a small thing to be given. That is everything.